on and hold live.
Hey, yo, what is going down? Monday, everybody. I love Mondays. It's the start of a brand new week, start of a brand new show. And as you can see, we got a brand new guest stepping in. But before I get to his introduction, hello, nerds. Welcome to GeekBeast. This is part of the Geekish Network. This is your daily rundown of geek news from geeks that look like me, geeks that look like you, geeks that look like this crew right here. And if you're new to the show, we cover the Geek News Beat and we share our opinions with you. I'm your host, Sintel, and over here to the left of me, I think I'm standing over here. Yo, it's my man Chuck. Yo, Chuck, say what's up to the people real quick.
What up, dude? What it do? It's Monday, baby.
Yes, it is.
Monday.
Yes, it is. And this Monday
right
comes with
Monday.
This Monday comes with some prizes, and one of my all-time favorite friends of the show, friends of the network. Yo, my man Travis has stepped into the building, ladies and gentlemen. Travis, yo, what is cracking? Thank you. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Man, thanks for having me. You know,
Yes,
I was
sir.
telling Chuck, I was like, man, you always hang around our show. Why don't you, what's up? Right?
Yeah, he want to be on other shows. Look at him. Look at him. I was like, hey,
you down? I said, yeah, I'm down. Like full flat tire.
We looked at Chuck. He opened up the books and he said, he's ready.
is that what I did? That's what I did. I'm going to claim that. That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. Just like that. Open the book again for him.
Yo, speaking of open up the books, people have been opening up the books on the Superman character for God knows how long. And now we got Kevin Smith, who actually wrote the Death of Superman script for Ben Affleck. You know, Batman #4, maybe somewhere around in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Clerks director talks about his version of Superman, which never took place. There are a few pop culture stories more fascinating than those about projects that they were in development but never happened. So George Miller's Justice League, James Cameron's Spider-Man, Tim Burton's Superman, and the last one that's even better origin story than the Man of Steel himself. And at one point, it was Kevin Smith's Superman. Yo, can you imagine a version of Kevin Smith's Superman with Ben Affleck? Does this work, Travis? How are we feeling about this?
This is the Kevin Smith one where the executive wanted him to fight polar bear or something like that, right?
Is that what this one is?
I remember, like, it's like, how Kevin Smith used to do this, like nights with Kevin Smith or whatever, and he just all that stuff. I think he was talking about actually this, him writing a Superman script, and one of the executives at Warner Brothers wanted him to fight a polar bear. Right. And
that's probably why you need to die. Go fight a polar bear.
Now, that being said, I guess the question is, would I accept the Ben Affleck Superman? Is that what you're asking me?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what we're asking you.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen what he did with Daredevil, right? Because he did the very first Daredevil movie, right? Was it?
And we've
right?
seen him. We seen him do the very last Batman movie too.
No.
Yeah. So I mean,
so let's think about this from like an RPG standpoint for a second. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
All right. So if you just click the mail button, it would look like Ben Affleck.
He's a default character. He is kind of default characterish.
So Superman's kind of default.
Yeah, I think he'll work as he'd work as Superman until he had to start acting. Then he'd been Ben Affleck all over again. He would have done to Superman what George Clooney did to Batman.
Wow.
Yes.
Woo, that's saying a lot for you right there.
Hot take right there. He would have done to Superman what Ben Affleck, what George Clooney did to Batman. Because when people saw, hey, take it as you will. Use whatever adjective you want to add to it. But when George Clooney became Batman, people were excited. They thought he was the man. He's the man. He has the look. He's sexy. Women love him. And then when he got in the role, he played himself. He played himself the whole entire time. I think Ben Affleck plays himself in every movie.
But Superman is kind of default, though.
No, he is.
He's true justice in the American white boy way, right? I mean,
he may be the perfect Superman. Then he might have been the perfect Superman. If he would have got the role, but he would have played himself. He still would have been himself.
I just don't think you could see anything else, though.
Besides Ben Affleck. I mean, Ben Affleck was with the hottest woman that we knew at one time, and all we saw was him standing next to the hottest woman and not her boyfriend.
Being default.
Being default. He's with J-Lo, and we didn't say, oh, that's J-Lo's man. Like, J-Lo's with Ben Affleck. That's what we said. That was J-Lo's man. We say he's with Ben Affleck. So I'm just saying he'd have been himself. And whatever that means, that's what have been playing Superman.
Darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, and see, I also worry about like what version of Ben Affleck would we have seen as well, because there was the dark times Ben Affleck when he was going through some stuff, dealing with the breakup and dealing with his what is it, alcoholism, and he was just in a different space than he is now. He might not necessarily have the chops, and he certainly probably didn't have the physique in order to play the Man of Steel. There's some bare minimum requirements.
At
least Henry Cavill like looks the part, physique wise. I'm just saying.
I feel you on an opinion level on that. But what I'm saying is like, you can't tell me that when they said, "Hey, dog, you're gonna be the Dark Knight," that he didn't step up, right? Like he did. So if you he's that physique. He's definitely got the Bruce Wayne physique.
He did have the Bruce Wayne physique.
Yeah, so, like the old grizzled. But he can't pull off year one Batman. No, there's no way.
No. But what I'm saying is, it's like Batman. Bruce Wayne is that yoked, right? So and he got there when he played Batman. So I can't take that away from him. He's one of my favorite Batmans.
He got yoked for an old man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he looked like Bruce Wayne's dad.
Yeah,
he does look like Bruce Wayne's dad. Like
he looks like an older Bruce Wayne for sure.
I don't know if that would have worked like 10 maybe.
Hold on. We got a hot take in the chat. So, the Funk came in and was like, "This is the Nicolas Cage film. Would we rather see Nicolas Cage play Batman? Is that the Batman?
There's the real question.
Or would we rather see Ben Affleck play the Batman?
Superman. It was Superman. It was Nicolas Cage. Superman. Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Which version would you have rather seen if we're in the hot tub time machine and we're going back and they're like, you have two choices. You got
Ben
Nick
Affleck
Cage or Ben Affleck as the Man of Steel. Where are you going? Listen, I'm gonna tell you my vote right now. I'm going Nick Cage, because if we're gonna go off the rails, we're gonna go all the way off the rails. I want crazy Nick Cage too. I don't want the sensible Nick Cage. I want Raising Arizona Nick Cage.
I can't with this whole conversation. I think I'm gonna log off of life. I'm gonna sign out.
Who you going with, Travis? Who you going with, though? Who you going with?
I don't want to say Nick Cage as
Didn't say Ben Affleck. Didn't say Ben Affleck. Didn't say Ben Affleck.
I will say I would rather see you as Superman than Nick Cage.
Wow. Where's Nick Cage is American treasure. He's a national treasure, actually. National treasure. Look,
I like him in that.
Look,
just like
name a bad Nick Cage movie. Name a bad one.
All of them.
No, you like Face Off?
Face
Off is legendary.
Look, they're dope. But let's keep it real.
Adaptation,
they bad. Like, let's keep it real. They dope, but they bad.
I don't think they're bad.
You know how he is the
Migos of acting.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, have you ever tasted something so?
I'm on fire today, son. I'm on fire.
You said it was so funky, it was good.
Yeah,
talking about
chitlins. You know how certain things just be so bad
that they're good. Yeah,
that they're good.
Yeah. No,
you know what's like that? Like Cobra Kai is like that, right?
Oh no, don't get us started there. Oh, we're triggered.
It's so bad that is good.
It's because it lives in the house of nostalgia. You're right. And if you're not living in that house of nostalgia, it's
so
reflex.
in the pocket.
All right. Well, listen. We're gonna talk about some old things that might have new life breathed into them. And today, a big one kind of dropped. Yo, Will Smith is being relevant again. I'd say about a year and a half ago, somebody did a fan film for a dramatic version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It went viral, absolute viral. People lost their minds. Will got a hold of it. Next thing you know, there's contracts being pulled out. Peacock is like, yo, we're gonna absolutely do it. The casting went out about 6 months ago. People were still kind of buzzing. And today, the trailer for Bel-Air, the story of the Fresh Prince retold in dramatic fashion, was released. Have either one of you seen this trailer?
Yes, I saw this trailer. And I have a lot of choice words, and most of them are not good. But it may just be what Travis said. It's so funky that it's good. I mean, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air will live in comedy world forever for me.
Okay.
And this being like a like some Riverdale / dramatic Empire / show. I'm like, come on, it's gonna be like Empire. It's gonna be hokey. It's gonna be silly. The cast looks beautiful. Man. I haven't seen that many dark-skinned people on screen since Wakanda.
Okay.
Ashley's lead. So, but I have choice. It looks pretty, and it's Will Smith project. So it's him ordering around a bunch of old white people, and hopefully it came out good. Hopefully it did, but I'm not holding my breath. It's gonna be Cobra Kai. It's gonna be Cobra Kai.
How you feeling about what you've seen so far?
I think my whole soul was in it. Like, you know, I really dug it. It looks like it's very beautifully shot. It looks like, you know, it looks like it's well acted for what it is. And I like a fish out of water story. I really do. And so I'm not looking at this as, you know, an alternative to what's there. You know, this is another multiverse, so to speak.
Yeah,
you know,
and Spider-Man 3.
Yeah. Oh wow. I challenge you though. I challenge you though, Chuck. I really do.
I'm trying.
I think this is gonna fly. I really do. I'm feeling it. I am. I mean, like I said, and I think the baggage that I take from knowing the original material is that I know what these roles are supposed to be, and so and I'm just, you know, it's sort of like when you look at a comic book, right? And then you and your boys say like, yeah, but what what if this was like real? Right?
Yeah.
And so now I'm looking at the Fresh Prince and I'm going like, yo, like what if this was like real?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I agree with you. That may make me want to watch it, but I don't want the Fresh Prince to be real. Number one, I don't need it. I wish they could have gave me a different place, a different story. Like it could be the same actors, the same story somewhere else. But I know the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air has been made, and it's gonna be in the back of my head that I saw Tyra Banks on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air looking fly as hell. You know what I'm saying? And Will Smith acted his ass off. And it was funny at the same time.
I don't know if I would say Will Smith acted his ass off.
Man, when he was talking about his daddy, though, when he was talking about his daddy,
he was perfect for the role.
Yeah.
Will learned to get his chops based off of this show. Is what provided him the momentum in order to become a relatively good actor. But he pretty much just played himself. But there were some things that they did take some liberties with. Everybody feels some kind of way about, you know, their fake father, and that is Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil is a legendary father, like for a lot of generations. He's on a Cosby-esque kind of level for Black fathers, and there are some liberties I was taking with him. You know, looks a little bit stronger in character. He looks like he could be, you know, running a mob. he looks like Mr. Fisk almost. You know, there's some liberties taken with Jeffrey. Now he doesn't have the British accent. He sounds like he's from the islands, maybe. Let's see. Aunt Viv looks a little bit more like dark-skinned Aunt Viv than light-skinned Aunt Viv.
She is dark-skinned Aunt Viv.
And the big one, the very, very big one, is this Carlton Banks looks like he got confidence and swag. He don't look like he's trying to, do the little dance and all that. Like there's a moment in the trailer where he kind of looks at Will and he kind of like gives him like the check. Like he looks him up and down like, you up on my block. He's like, he asked me, he's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm thriving. And you see the car, the girls, the lacrosse, the chess. Like he looks like he's the man and he's coming into his kingdom. So with those liberties, I think we may have something here.
Yes. I would love this show being what you just said, but a whole different family, a whole different everything.
Why?
Because it doesn't have to be Bel Air. I'm just tired of Hollywood remaking everything as is, and they can just make it something different. It could survive as something different, right? It doesn't have to be Bel Air. It does not have to be Bel Air.
It doesn't have to be Bel Air, but I think that this is something that I find with people who are, our age or maybe a little younger, is they notice the cyclical sort of nature that is entertainment, and the fact is that our fathers and our fathers' fathers could tell this same story, with much the same characters, and so they're saying, why are they redoing this instead of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air? Fresh Prince of Bel Air isn't new.
No, it's not. But I'm thinking it could be like Baldwin Hills. It could be Ladera Heights. It could be one of the predominant Black neighborhoods in LA that's filled with lots of money as well. Because we weren't allowed to be in Bel Air. We weren't allowed to be in Beverly Hills. So we created our own in our neighborhoods because they redlined us out of those neighborhoods. And it could have been that story.
But I think the premise, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the premise is supposed to be a fish out of water story, right?
Yes.
You can't get more fish out of water than you coming from, the hood in Philly all the way over to the hills and to the hills of Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills, that's true. In Bel Air, you're right.
It's such a big dichotomy.
Big difference.
Yeah. So I think that's what they're trying to go for. And if you do go to Ladera Heights, even though there's a part of me that agrees with you, there's a part of me that does, but I don't think it holds the same difference. The fish out of water story just doesn't hit as home as if you're doing in Bel Air.
I know one thing they did right though. They casted Coco Jones as Hillary Banks, and that is great casting, boy. Hillary's still fine.
Yeah, she's still fine. Still fine.
Oh yeah.
Yo, speaking of things that were fine, just fine, and don't need changing, my man Michael Bay is remaking The Raid. Oh, that's blasphemy. Blasphemy. 3 of the biggest action directors in the game are coming together to help give a new spin on one of the decade's most acclaimed action picks. Netflix has come aboard Netflix has come aboard a new reimagining of Gareth Evans' cult classic, The Raid. Tapping Patrick Hughes to direct with Michael Bay and XYZ Films on board to produce. My little quick piece before I pass the mic. The Raid, when it came out, was arguably one of the best martial arts films I had seen probably since The Matrix, as far as having a visceral, like, oh my God, what am I watching type of situation. It refreshed an action genre in a way that it really needed because things started to go a little bit stale. I think this is an affront to all things good to have Michael Bay at the helm of this, and I'm going to go ahead and just leave it at that and let you all pick up.
I'll let Travis, you can keep rubbing your head as I go into this. And you want to say something now? Because boy,
he is like the COVID of movies. Why?
Oh, wow! I couldn't say anything better. That he is like the COVID of movies.
He seriously will invade your genre and mess it all up to the point where you can't even breathe.
I
don't want this. Even though it's going to have these swooping 360 cameras.
Around the building, around that one building.
Completely soulless. I will never forgive him for Transformers.
Never.
I can't. The only thing he did good was Bad Boys. Like I can't. Oh my God. Oh, when you said this, I seriously thought I was like in the black version of The Onion. Like, is this real life? Is this really happening?
This is happening,
This is happening. Thank you, Travis, for describing how I felt so well. But what he did to Transformers, I'm like, I am still angry at you for this. You cannot come back from that. You cannot come back from that. And because one thing somebody said was like, you know what the raid misses? Big explosions.
No.
And parallaxing. It misses in these big explosions and parallaxing. That's what they're going to say it needs. I'm like, he can't even shine in this movie. There's nothing for him to shine. This is close combat.
Why?
He can't. He can't even shine.
Why?
This is not even in his toolbox. You told me Edgar Wright's redoing the raid. I'd be like, I don't need that movie, but I'm here for the ride. I'm here for the ride.
But the strength, the overall strength, in my opinion, of the raid itself is the daringness of the stunts and the fight choreography.
Yes.
And the director that originally did it, he nailed it. He knocked it out the park in a new and a refreshing way. We got to see full action, not quick click choppy clips. Like this came out in like 2012. You got to keep in mind, like we're still coming off the heels of half-second cuts for every single fight scene, where you don't even get a chance to really see what's going on because stuff is moving so quick. He actually took the action genre, slowed it down enough, and said, "Listen, I'm gonna break this whole fight down for you, and you're gonna see every single piece of every movement." He gave the fight choreography a storyline, something that we hadn't seen and desperately needed. That's not Michael Bay's wheelhouse.
It's not.
So Michael Bay he knows his tool set, and I'll give him this. He's good at what he does, even though I might not be necessarily a fan of it, but I will give him credit for it. His visual style is his visual style. That is not what this is about.
But what if you took the raid and gave it the Rona? I mean, damn. Seriously, like I look at certain movies, you know, as shining examples like of their genres, and you know, like for example, like Aliens, like shining example, right, of a, you know, a genre piece. Blade Runner, like shining examples, right? And I put Raid up in the, you know, in the action genre. Like the only thing you could do better for the Raid, in my opinion, is make it 8K. Damn it.
I agree with you. That's what I agree with you. Just make it 8K. It was the perfect long length of time. The action was amazing in it. I mean, only thing I could think of is like, if you would have said young John Woo was going to make the Raid, I'd be like, I may be into that. I may be into that.
Have to be young John Woo.
You heard what I said. I didn't make any mistakes.
How many doves does young John Woo have?
I mean, of course, the killer is going to always. You said how many moves?
No, how many doves?
Yeah. That's his thing. That's his thing. You got to throw some. Like I think we were done with the doves in Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah,
I think we were done with Woo after 2.
Yeah,
kind of faded off into the sunset, as he should have.
You know, or you told me like the director for Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance was going to do a version of the Raid in Korean. And I'm like, okay, I can go on that ride. I'll go on that ride. You know, who's the director of that? Let me see who's the director of that.
The Raid was the first movie.
Park Chan-wook was going to do it. I'd be like, okay, I'll go on that ride.
It was the first. The Raid was the first movie that I saw that I left there going, the stunt people are the stars of this movie. Like it was the first movie I had ever just said, whoever was the stunt crew there, give all those cats raises, man, because they left it on the floor.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. And there's something to that too. Like he was like what he had in his head and what he wanted to be done was so far out there that he really did have to like go to Indonesia in order to get some of this stuff done, because like those stuntmen, God, I hope God pray for them. You know, I hope they're doing all right to this day. Like they really ate some L's on this movie,
man.
And if you're watching this, do yourself a favor. If you have not seen The Raid, watch it. It still holds up, and you're going to see a lot of stuff that you'll see stuff you're like, well, I've kind of seen that movie before. Yeah, because The Raid did it first.
Yeah, and Gareth told a good story.
Yeah, and then let's also keep in mind
it was storytelling was done in the fighting. Go ahead.
Exactly. Gareth also did another banger that is still kind of under the radar in Gangs of London. I don't know if you've seen that as well. He's a pretty decent storyteller. He's got some really good action sequences as well. I highly recommend it. And once you see, if this is your homework, once you've seen The Raid and you've seen Gangs of London, then come back and then you'll see why our faces look the way they do regarding Michael Bay retelling this tale. It
was the first time I actually saw a real life boss battle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Raid, I was like, yo, son, this cat got so many hit points, man. You better do something different. Do something different because he keeps regenning every time you slap him a couple times, right? I was like, yo, man, this is a real life boss battle.
Yeah. And you know what? I know I'm getting off the cuff because we got to get out of here, but you know what else is dope about this? Like, they started off, it's all guns and bullets. And then they run out of bullets and they're like, nah, we still got you. We still got a lot of dopeness left. We don't need guns and bullets. And it never falls off.
Never stops. It gets better, actually. It's a crescendo up to the It's just like, okay. How you going to top that scene? Oh, you just top that
hang on. Hold my drink.
Hold my drink.
Yo, thank you so much. We're going to have to hold our drink on this one because, unfortunately, we are at the end of this particular show. Yo, I'm so happy everybody got a chance to hang out. That's going to conclude the news segment. Thank you for tuning in. Huge shout out to Travis, man. Thank you so much for coming in, man. Yo, give them, throw out your socials, where they can find you, how you're incorporated.
Talk about your show.
Let the people know.
Come on now. We're on the Geekish Network too. It's Tech Nuvians, baby. You know what I'm saying? We'll be back next week.
Yes. Or this week.
Beautiful.
This week.
This week. This week.
Wow, I'm living in the past.
Yeah, look at you. The Michael Bay got you going. You got so excited about that Michael Bay. Michael Bay remaking The Raid.
It comes at you quick, man. It'll throw anybody off. Yo, a huge gigantic shout out to Digital Click for all the creators you provide. You take a look at your screen, you can see us all framed in here, looking all pretty. To quote the immortal Deion Sanders, when I look good, I play good. When I play good, I make money. Yo, Digital Click makes us look good. We feel good, and then we come out here and we give you good product. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at YouTube/The Geekish Network. Like us on Facebook /The Geekish Network. Our Twitch is still live, but we're doing game streams, charity streams. We just had a really dope charity stream this past Sunday.
Got one coming on Sunday too. Got another one coming
on. Check it out in the restreams. Cooking streams there as well. So please consider subscribing to the channel. If you own Amazon Prime, you can link your account and sub to us using Prime Gaming. It costs you nothing, but it helps us out tremendously. Of course, the best way to reach out and help us out is by word of mouth as well. Hey, thank you so much to my man, the voice in the sky, Rodney, for helping us out. And I think we got Pod Squadron coming up next. So we're going to go ahead and I don't know if Lexi, Tracy, Andy, and Jason are here, but oh, there we go.
Yeah, Lexi's not in today, but the other ones are in, so we're excited about this. This is Travis's first crosstalk. Oh, Travis is not ready for crosstalk. So Travis, what we do is we partner up with the other pod that's about to come on, and we just talk. And guess what Pod Squadron covers? Andy, Tracy, tell him what Pod Squadron covers. It's like his favorite topic.
We are covering all things Star Wars. And
like I don't know that.
But yeah, today we're talking Book of Boba Fett.
Are you named?
And what?
You see his container. Put it in front of your face. Put it in front of your face.
Boba Fett?
Put it in front of you. There you go.
It's the
markers.
Colors.
See the markers.
Yeah.
Rocking the colors.
Hey, thank you all for being a part of the conversation. I'm always looking forward to your show. We did have a topic regarding earlier somebody who is a huge, gigantic Star Wars buff, and that is Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith was actually in the conversation to bring Ben Affleck in to play Superman. Would you want Kevin Smith to be reintroduced into Star Wars properties if given the opportunity?
Yeah. I gotta say, so, for that time when I was humoring the CW, I still like some of the CW shows. Actually, some of his episodes were some of my favorite. I mean, I think he really does love his fan service. He has a good balance of handling action and new spins. He's not too sacred with stuff, but like the stuff that he wants to be sacred about, he's very loving with the fan service. So yeah, I'd be down. I'd totally be down for Kevin Smith jumping into the verse, as it were.
Do we get to have Alanis Morissette play a god?
She's a Sith Lord.
Oh, that would be amazing. I would love to see it. Alanis Morissette is a Sith Lord would be dope. I'm
She
here
would
for
make
that.
a great Sith too. She would make a great Sith.
I don't know how Travis feels about that.
Are you kidding me? Jagged little Sith? Yeah, baby.
Or she could be one of the
wait.
witches.
If she's a Sith and jagged little Sith, then can Dave Coulier be like another Sith
Boom.
Lord
Boom.
battles against?
Boom.
Nice.
We're going like a Lana's deep dive right here.
I love how we're both showing our nerdery and our age.
At the same time.
Yes, we are here, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
She can also be a witch of Datamore too. Datamere.
Oh yeah. One of the
That'd be cool.
One of the witches too.
Yeah. Dathomir.
Dathomir, yep.
I think that on that subject though, Kevin Smith gets it. Like, I think that's why fans like him, is because he's one of us, and he's just one of us that has a camera, and he doesn't really have like a visual style, so to speak. But what he has is he has these unique sort of takes or outlooks on things. I believe it was Kevin Smith who asked people about the morality of people being on the Death Star, actually.
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying. So if you could actually take Kevin Smith and put him on a Star Wars project, I think it would be better for it, honestly. Like,
now let's keep in mind now. I think all of us here are pretty much fans of him, at least for his earlier work. If you may feel some way about some of his later work, he's certainly a respected person within geek nerd culture. But he has been known to kind of like drop the ball a couple of times. And his most recent big drop is his retelling of He-Man, Masters of the Universe, and changing a bit of the canon in a say. A lot of fans feel some kind of way about it. Some for some really obvious sexist type reasons, others just for the simple fact that this is not their He-Man. Are you not worried about the possibility of taking something beloved and them changing it in a way that is that you can no longer recognize?
I mean, we're Star Trek fans, so.
That was funny. Did you like we took it to two same different universes simultaneously. I said no worse than George Lucas has.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
that's fair.
True.
Very true.
I actually quite enjoyed the first 6 episodes of He-Man Revelations. I thought it was actually a really interesting spin, and I actually thought it wasn't inconsistent with anything that happened. It was just focused on a particular point in a timeline, that brought, without being spoilery, that brought focus to other characters. And I thought that was like a really interesting, you go back and you watch those original He-Man episodes, it's like there's no lore, right? It's like nothing, it's like literally they're just setting up so that they can use those same rotoscoped animation sequences where like He-Man runs in and then he
drops down in front of the camera like
and let's be honest, it was more for selling. It's more for selling toys than it was
a commercial.
Selling story. Yeah. That's very true.
So I I thought what he was doing was he took what was there and turned it into a lore, into a god honest lore. And I thought that was kind of impressive, honestly. Yeah, you didn't see as much of He-Man proper, but I thought it paid off in the end. I don't know, even from that perspective of I'm not getting to see as much He-Man as I might want to. I thought it paid off in the end, and it sets up. I mean, I don't know. I haven't, because they dropped additional episodes, right?
Yes, they just dropped the second season. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't caught up yet.
Well,
Wait,
Andy,
where is this airing? Is this on like
Netflix.
Netflix.
I haven't even heard of this.
There's
How is
two
it?
He-Mans on Netflix. There's two brand new
True.
ones, and I like the second one. I like the one that's team based, the modern day 3D one. I love it. It's great.
It's a
Kevin
CGI,
Smith, I think it's okay. It's like, it's not, the other He-Man I do like though. It's good. It's good. So there's Masters of the Universe.
Didn't work for you.
And then there's He-Man. It didn't work for me as well. No.
It didn't work for me either.
The Binge-worthy podcast didn't quite like it at all. But I may make them do Revelations season 2, Andy. And I would love to bring you on to talk about it with.
Okay. I'll have to catch up and see.
Yeah, we haven't caught up on it yet. I'll give you a week because Binge-worthy binge a show in a week. So I'll tell you when we're going to do it, and you can just comp on a team. You can say, hey, I got time to do it. Let's do it.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, to bring it back to Star Wars a little bit, we also have Mark Hamill as Skeletor for that.
Yep.
Yes.
Indeed.
Which of course we know, he was in, was it the first Jay and Silent Bob movie?
Yes, when he was oh my god, I forgot his name.
Knocker.
Oh my god. Yeah, the block knocker. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God bless Mark Hamill.
So Travis, can you come on Pod Squadron sometime?
Of course I can. What, are you kidding me? Like, what, you want me to wear my Stormtrooper mask when I do it?
Yes. Your lightsaber, your custom built lightsaber.
Which one of my custom made lightsabers?
How many do you have?
I have
a bunch.
I have 3.
Is that all?
Helen.
But I just saw this. I just saw this Twitch. No, it wasn't Twitch. TikTok, where they had some $600 lightsaber. Like when you turn it on, it like goes whoa, 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 whoa. Like it makes this crazy sort of pulsing, slow ignition. And I was saying, yeah, I'd probably pay for that.
Oh man, too rich for my blood unless I win the lottery.
Well, speaking of I'm sorry, I was gonna say speaking of the lottery, for all of our viewers out here, Pod Squadron is like hitting the lottery, and you're gonna get a chance to hang out with them for quite a bit of time and jump into the world. Thank you so much for hanging out. Hey, boss man, I'm just going ahead and give everybody the deuces. We got like a good 10 minutes to everybody bops back in, and then we will leave you to your amazing fans. So hey everybody, deuces up, and we out.